Respect the game. What's up, Buckties? Welcome back to the HLR number 6. Today, a lot of interesting news, kind of different from what we've been going about. Tyreek Hill under investigation for alleged battery. Johnny Manziel signs. And March Madness brackets are revealed. But we are again with our co-host, Christopher Dazinski. Chris, how you doing today?
Man, what a fucking wild weekend. Bro, how was St.Patty's Day weekend?
Oh, I forgot about that. Happy St.Patty's Day for all you Irish folks out there.
Happy St.Patty's Day.
Happy St. Patty's Day. Man, St. Patrick's weekend was fun. It was grandiose time. It actually wasn't even bad weather too for once, so people were able to go outside. How was yours, Chris?
Bro, I'll be honest, I'm gonna kind of get to the point. It was like really good, but it was like fucking shit.
At the same time, both?
Bro, reason being is because I was intoxicated out of my mind, but we ended up doing fuck all.
So you basically,
you know what I mean?
you sent it for absolutely no reason.
Basically, yes.
Sounds like kind of a full send, non-full send.
We'll call it like a 3/4 send, because I sent it, but there was no purpose to send. You know what I mean? Fuck all the boys that went to Queens, but that's besides the point.
All the videos from Queens, Laurier, like, oh my god. See, I feel like that and those parties, in my opinion, are I think a bit too much for me, because that just looks like a clusterfuck.
See, that's what I mean. It looks like a clusterfuck, but I want to like experience it once, because I never have been to Queens to visit or whatever. I went to the
Queens. I went to Queens Hoco last year, and it's partying at its finest. It's completely different. I recommend it for everyone to go have a fucking fun time.
Yeah.
But if you want a better fun time with less amount of people, I heard Bishop's is pretty good as well.
Go Gators. I don't know, something about that school.
Something about that school, he says. Doesn't matter. But what does matter are athletes these days. And kind of a controversy that's been going around is a bunch of athletes are now getting away with charges or convictions that they've done in the past. Recently, in the news that's come up in the past week, is Tyreek Hill's actually being under investigated for alleged battery with his wife and kid, his 3-year-old kid.
Tyreek Hill.
It's another Tyreek Hill. Come on, man. You've had everything working out for you the last couple of years with football. You're about to get a lucrative deal with the Kansas City Chiefs, who are a dynasty football team again.
The thing, and it's like, it doesn't even surprise me, man, is like he's not like innocent of this. You know, he's been involved with this sort of thing.
He has in 2015.
Yeah. He
was charged with domestic assault and battery for a fact again. For punching and choking his pregnant wife. So this is basically this is round 2 with his wife. Round 2.
Like at that point, you know what I mean? It's like you're given such a spotlight as an athlete, and you're getting the spotlight for the wrong reasons. Like that also like screwed up his draft position when he got drafted by KC.
Yeah, because he was put under prohibition for 3. He got kicked out of Ohio State school because of it. Couldn't play football, and yeah, it did affect his draft ranking. But that's the thing with football. Yeah. So many late picks are actually good players. Let me rephrase that. Yeah, it's what they do. It's what gets them lower. And teams don't have fucking terrible what's the word I'm looking for? Terrible, not motivators, but athletes and bad people on their team, because it'll affect their dressing room around them and in their mind.
Yeah, I agree. The whole overall morale.
The morale will go down if you have a freaking rapist on your team or a wife beater.
Yeah, I know. See, like, that's also the thing with these kind of sports. Like, as you're put in to, this kind of position and this kind of spotlight with all this talent, just because you have all this talent doesn't mean you're gonna,
And just because you have all the money doesn't mean you're not gonna get away with everything.
That's what I mean, and that's also something these athletes need to learn. And it's nice seeing this stuff come out. And then, there being precautions to it, there being consequences.
And we don't mean to be picking on football athletes here, because, yeah, you got Tyreek Hill, you have Kareem Hunt recently.
You go back, man, and there's a lot more names like Ocho Cinco.
Ray Rice, the video of Ray Rice knocking his wife out in the elevator. Like one punch straight to the dome. Basically like a 1-2 Mayweather.
And speaking of Mayweather too, man, he actually does have history as well. Floyd Mayweather Jr. He actually was in some domestic violence. I guess a charge in 2010. There was a little case going around. If you remember back then, but
and when your name is more out there, the thing is you are more prone to being evicted or charged for something you didn't do. Because Patty Kane, or I'll use Patty Kane as an example. Yeah. Do you think he actually did his? What was it? Was it 2 years ago in Buffalo?
Oh, it was a few years ago. See, like, I think, that's a touchy thing to
discuss, because yes,
I mean,
he may have not done it. Yeah, the person may also just want fame, attention, or money because they've realized, oh, look, I hooked up accidentally maybe with Patty Kane, and it's a touchy subject because as a viewer or a person on the outside of it, we don't know what's the actual truth.
That's what I mean. Like the truth is the two people who actually witnessed in the moment, and right, they have the power to manipulate things and blow it out of proportion to their favor, for to whoever's to get the story. So, and unless there's video footage like Ray Rice,
like the Ray Rice, then yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. You did do it, but if there's no video proof, then it's hard for us to actually go on the side of the victim, because the majority of people who watch sports or sports enthusiasts will always get the side of the athlete. It's just a normal thing to do. Is you love the athlete, you want to favoritize them, you want them to be set for the future. Yeah. Because if you're a sports fan, you don't want your best player leaving.
And then see, that's another thing, like another topic that stirs up a lot of controversy, is that separating the actual talent from the athlete, from
separating talent
stuff they get
from real world.
And I honestly want to hear your take on this, because I'm very, I don't know, it's a hard thing for me to kind of side on both. So what's your opinion on that? Like kind of taking separating the talent of the athlete.
They do though, because I don't think athletes should be forgiven or given kind of a easy way out just because of their skill. They're like any other human, but they just have more fame to their name for the shit they've done. If it wasn't for sports, many of these athletes wouldn't be anything.
Yeah, no, some of them, like sports or like their profession has gotten them out
of the bad things that they did in the past.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't mean to be picking on football, but it seems a lot of the domestic charges or I don't know, violent charges are seen against football players. And
I mean it's a trend. It's definitely the trend.
It's more commonly seen because a lot of footballers, and especially down in the States, because we're Canadians, we unfortunately did have it a bit nicer compared to others.
I mean,
being in Canada, it's already a plus for us than being anywhere else.
We're really fortunate to live in Canada, right?
And that's the thing. A lot of the charges that do happen in the States, and if they happen anywhere else, they could result in different, not different.
Yeah, and I mean that's another thing. Laws
different final
are a lot
results.
different in regulations.
And so you have the Tyreek Hill with Casey. You have Kareem Hunt recently, and the fact that someone can, and it was caught on camera too with Kareem Hunt pushing and kicking his wife, that he can easily, or not his wife, his girlfriend. Let me correct that. He can easily just get another contract with another team. He got released by KC, and then within a couple of months, got signed. The Browns decided to sign him.
And see, that's an example of the Browns saying, well, I mean, they're separating.
They're separating talent from the real world, real life problem that he did. Yes,
do you think now that this is like more common, do you think more teams are going to start to do that? Be like, well, I mean, he is a talent, so we'll just neglect that and just focus on the development.
It depends on the organization, in my opinion. That's what it has to go down to. It depends on the owner and the class of it.
So, like Robert Kraft, what's he doing in this situation?
At first, I would tend to say he wouldn't take the risk because he's...
Yeah, no. I just had to bring up Robert Kraft.
Yeah, because Robert Kraft's he's a podcast favorite. There's Rub and Tug.
Yeah, he is a podcast favorite.
But Robert Kraft did acquire Josh Gordon. And Josh Gordon has had a past not with domestic, but with drug issues. Always you get possession of marijuana, possession of whatever, possession of this, possession of that.
Yeah.
So in that case, Robert Kraft, I don't think he.
I guess that's
it
a
all
little
depends.
more.
Yeah,
that's a little more.
It's different.
As you said, though, it depends on.
Depends on the team and depends. Yeah.
Of the team, GM, all that sort of thing.
Because at this state, Cleveland just willing to do anything to win.
Cleveland, honestly, and even though the suspension was 8 games for.
Yeah, 8 games. Only 8 games.
That's.
People
are like, oh, we'll have the season, but.
I don't think half the season was enough.
You need to should have got more.
I think he should have got more.
I think they should just be like, you do something stupid, that's a full season of your career gone. Even
I
think it should be a lot more extreme.
Oh, it should be. Because look, you look at the comparison. 8 games, yeah, it's half the year, and yeah, it doesn't seem like a lot.
And I mean, they have Nick Chubb stepping in for those 8 games, and he didn't do bad for them at all last year.
He's gonna have a breakout year in my opinion. I think he's gonna be huge. I think fantasy owners should pick him up instead of Kareem Hunt. But the thing is, Cleveland's just, like I said, Cleveland's willing to do anything. They'll pick up anyone. 8 games, Kareem Hunt should have gotten more. If you basically had the opportunity to either go to jail or spend days in jail and then go to the NFL after, I don't think you deserve a contract. You should spend time, and then after your time, see if any team wants you. And if you've actually changed or made a difference, or you're doing steps to show that you want to change, then yeah, I'll give you a contract. But if you what has he done in the couple of weeks or months since he's been charged and then signed? He's done nothing. He stayed the same. He's just stayed quiet.
I believe there should be bigger precautions. Like if you get a criminal offense like domestic violence or something, especially harming someone else, I think your career should actually be on the line. You
shouldn't be given another chance. You made a mistake. You should serve the same consequences if, for example, if me or you were to do it.
Yeah, I think there should be a very thin rope depending on how severe it is.
And so we'll move away from football offenses because it's very similar, and I don't want the viewers being like, oh, these guys hate football, they're saying all football players are terrible people. No.
I mean, I hate soccer, but...
Well, soccer players only freaking... I don't know if I want to say it, but Adam Johnson on Sunderland was freaking charged. He was put in prison for 3 years for I think it was child abuse.
Jeez.
So overseas, you can see in the UK, he served his punishment. He got released by Sunderland right away, and then within months was sentenced to jail.
Yeah, it shows you how...
Just the comparison of different standards in different leagues and sports.
Yeah.
Guys, and I'm not saying England's a freaking perfect country. They've got a lot of rough areas, as we've talked about in the last podcast. Swansea being freaking stacked with heroin users.
Yeah.
It just shows that every sport handles it differently, and countries can handle it differently.
Yeah, no, honestly, it's one of those things. Everyone's standards differ, right? So.
And for example, Danny Heatley, 1507, when he was with the Thrashers, and so after he got traded by the Senators, he got charged with vehicular homicide. So basically resulting in the death of the passenger, in your car.
Yeah,
all he got was 3 years of probation.
Yeah, I think it has shown you though, as the years do go up, punishments are getting more severe, as you see.
They have.
Which
in
is
recent
nice.
years, punishments have.
Nice. They're starting to, how would you say, take precaution for this and saying, all right, just because you're a famous athlete doesn't mean you get to do this.
They're taking the necessary precautions for terrible things that people are doing. It's slowly getting better. I don't think it's still at the stage that it should be. There's still changes that need to be made. I think there's still more punishments that need to be handed out, or more disciplinary punishments, longer years. Instead of doing games, do seasons for players that are involved in the things that Tyreek Hill and Kareem Hunt are involved. 8 games?
I agree.
Do a season.
8 games is kind of all right, we'll rest for half the season. You know what I mean? It's
Kareem Hunt's legit going to take any game he can. He went from basically his career being over to give him a second opportunity.
oh yeah, like if this isn't a wake-up call for him, like I don't know what is. Since they're giving him this chance, I think this should be his last straw. Like honestly, if you're giving him another chance after this, you're basically saying, okay, it's fine at this point to be a multiple reoffender, right?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine to do what you're doing. We'll accept it. We'll give you a nice little punishment.
Like,
it's like a timeout. Go in the corner for 8 minutes.
Yeah, no, it's literally a timeout for grown-ups. Like honestly, like these professional athletes need to like grow up. Like,
it's simple things that fame and popularity could do to you.
Yeah.
It's just they're put in the spotlight, like you said, and they're exposed to more, I don't know, vulnerable scenarios that can lead them or put them in awkward situations.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a big ego booster.
Yeah, Slava Voinov, when he got his domestic assault with the NHL, they handled that pretty well, I think. I think the NHL handled that extremely well. Basically, suspending him.
He hasn't touched ice time in the NHL since, has he?
Since, yeah. He was, I think it was, what is it? I think it was a year, I think it was 2 or 3 years he couldn't play in the NHL.
And he wants to come back, but now teams are hesitant.
No teams want him as of right now. He was put in jail for 90 days, and then he was 3 years of probation. So that's what it was, 3 years. And he accepted a plea bargain to like actually still be able to play, because he plays in the KHL now, right?
Yeah.
That's just another freaking example of athletes getting a second chance.
And a different sport too, and how it's handled. So I mean, that's a big thing.
Yeah, here's the thing: Slava Voinov, he basically kicked out of the NHL. The National Hockey League's like, yeah, we don't tolerate this, we don't accept this. And then he goes back to his home country of Russia, and it's perfectly fine. Teams want him, he's loved, nothing goes wrong.
Yeah, one of those things, but
hey, it could also just be the Russians being Russians. Freaking Voinov, Varlamov, but didn't Varlamov do that too?
Oh, that was a snipe. Gotta credit that snipe.
Gotta credit the snipes when it counts.
Yeah, the Russians, man.
That's just kind of a Russian thing. Hey, Canadians are nice. Well, we would think Canadians are nice. If you checked out the freaking HouseLeague Radio Podcast on Instagram, we posted a video of minor league hockey in Mississauga, Ontario. So that's near Toronto. This was after. So I believe it was like a finals of a tournament, and in the video it shows at first just 2 players engaging in an altercation after the fight, which is normal if you lose the final. I remember when I played hockey, you'd go out.
It
only starts with 2, and you'd think, oh, the refs can handle 2 players. This got out of hand fast. It turned from a small 2-player line brawl to a full-on team and parent and arena brawl. Fans were coming off the ice to try to separate the fight, which they didn't do that shit one bit. A fan was seen in the video with a hockey stick taking slashes at kids. He was taking freaking Barry Bonds swings.
What should the punishment be for the fucking fan? Like, what are you doing? Like, that's criminal charges right there, regardless of a game.
The kid's also half your age, and you're beating him up with a hockey stick? Guy needs to freaking grow a pair. If you're gonna fight, use your hands.
Yeah,
not saying fighting's safe, but it's like it's kind of stupid how I don't know. I was just blown away by the fact that a parent legit attacked a 15-year-old kid with a hockey stick on the ice.
Yeah, that's one of those things. Like me and you have both seen, I'm sure experiences of parents reacting in the sons for like recreational hockey or whatever.
Oh yeah, like we both grew up playing hockey and everything.
I've never seen
yeah.
something this intense.
No, it's that intense and to that severity. The fact also that police had to go to the arena. They're now investigating the scenario. There still hasn't been any charges pressed on them though. No charges have been pressed.
Really?
Yep.
And I mean, see, they have video footage, so I think there should be some sort of
in the
charges.
next coming week, there's 100% gonna be charges of the guy, especially hitting people with a hockey stick. The thing is, for hockey players in that age, if it's 2 like 15-year-olds fighting against each other, you can't really press charges on one or the other.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's kind of confusing to press charges in hockey too, especially when it's a kind of physical game.
Especially for a situation like that, because it's really unique. But I wanted to bring up this part, because I mean we've both had our time in like minor hockey.
Oh, I've been suspended in minor hockey for fighting. I'm not gonna freaking hide it. I've been suspended.
Bro,
I've been given speeches from my parents on how much of a goon I was. I almost got kicked out. Oh, I'll tell you a little story. But in Pee Wee, when I played Pee Wee hockey, story time with freaking Ryan now. When I was playing Pee Wee hockey in my first year contact, I was never taught how to hit. So I just went out there, looked at the videos. I went on YouTube, looked at videos, and I saw Scott Stevens. Not John Stevens. I was thinking of John.
John the Icon.
Yeah, John the Icon. No, Scott Stevens. So I basically went out in my first year of contact thinking like Scott Stevens. I see a body, you go through the body, not the puck or the body goes through. It's one or the other.
You know what they teach in hockey? Use the body, to get someone off the puck. Ryan, use the body to
just get the body away. Exactly. So, in it was either my third or fourth game. We're playing Canada, and I already hated Canada to begin with. From where we're from,
it's like one of those rivalries.
Yeah,
right?
it's a hometown rivalry. Exactly.
Yeah.
There was a line brawl within the first period and like first 10 minutes of the game, and I got booted off. I got kicked off the ice within the first 10 minutes because I was headhunting. Guy stepped up in the blue line after hitting.
You're the guy John warned me about.
Yeah, I was basically like when your parents were telling you, "Hey, watch out for this kid because he's a freaking maniac." That was me. I was that maniac on the ice just going for kids. I got suspended 3 times in that year, Chris. First time was a 1-game suspension, and the last 2 were 2-game suspensions. And my mother told me, "Ryan, if you get suspended one more time, I'm pulling you out of hockey."
And which year was that?
My second year Pee Wee, so basically 3 years or 4 years of that.
Oh wait, did she just say for that year or like your previous years to come?
Well, my previous years to come.
Well,
here's the thing. After that year, I didn't get suspended for 3 years after that. Until midget came around.
That's true. You're clean boy till bed.
I was a freaking clean kid in Bantam, and then midget came around, and well, you experienced it firsthand. We played on the same team.
Yeah.
I'm just a team first kind of guy. Someone touches anyone on my team, I'm going after. I lay the body. Someone touches my goalie, I'll lay the body. Someone takes a shot, I'll block it. I'll put my body in front of it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll admit I can vouch. Ryan Simons was a team player. He did everything.
I did everything. Team player.
Yeah. Yeah. And then actually, since we're on the topic of putting people through the net, does that sentence sound familiar to you, Ryan? I don't know, just popping up recently.
Putting
did you
people
see
through the net.
Yeah, the Bruins Columbus pregame. I believe it was Saturday night.
Yeah, wasn't there Conor McGregor who dropped the ceremonial
the face-off drop,
whatever?
I saw all the videos, man. That was pretty funny. After he shakes, first of all, he almost forgets to shake Chera, and then I don't know why Foligno wasn't doing the.
It was Boone Jenner who did the ceremonial plus draw, yeah? Yeah.
Yeah, it was Boone Jenner, and then after he shakes Boone Jenner's head, he looks at Chera and says, "Put him through the fucking net."
Put him through the fucking net, he says.
And then I just thought that was hilarious because it's just something Connor would do, and then essentially we'll fast forward a bit. It's overtime. Patrice Bergeron and Marchand finishes it. Conor McGregor goes wild, and to top it off, Marchand does Conor McGregor's little signature, like, I don't know, how would you describe it?
The shoulders going back and forth of the arms and just acting kind of cool, like when he was walking across the ring, like walking around the ring. Yeah, that's how.
Oh yeah, I mean, I thought that was pretty cool.
Only McGregor could do that though, like shake Boone Jenner's hand, and be like, "Hey, good luck, mate, out there," and then go to chair and put it through the net.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's definitely Conor McGregor's iconic for that, I think. But
well, he does what Conor does.
Yeah, and I think Marchand was the only person who would ever do that celebration. Like, he had that on his mind. If he was gonna get a big goal like that,
That date was circled on Marchand's calendar. It was been circled for the last 2 months. As soon as the Boston Bruins GM and president told the team, yeah, we have McGregor coming in on March 16th or 17th for a ceremonial puck drop. Marchand told himself, oh my god, I gotta practice the celebration. I know I'm gonna score this game. I don't care if we lose 5-1 and I score a goal. I'm doing the McGregor walk, so he loves me. I can get that follow on Instagram.
Yeah,
that's what the rat was probably thinking, because it's a rat mindset. That's what he does. That's what the rat does.
Marchand, I could talk about that guy for hours, but I won't because I don't.
Marchand's just a freaking rat. McGregor is basically the Marchand of the NHL.
Yeah.
Just talks a lot of schmack. Yeah, they both have the freaking similarities of a rat. Moving on though from the athletes considered role models and just athletes doing buffoonish things, we're gonna go to a bit of March Madness. It's probably the best week in sports, in my opinion, or the weekend coming up on the Thursday, Friday, Saturday. All you're doing
one of the
is
more exciting ones.
Oh, it's a great weekend, and the thing is, the week leading up to March Madness, everyone's in a panic for nothing. Because no one's ever gone to perfect bracket before. I don't know if you know that. No one's ever gone to perfect bracket, and
I have not known that.
There's I forget what it's called, but
bro,
in a challenge,
I'm calling it. Someone's getting a perfect bracket this year.
Here's the thing: if you get a perfect bracket, you get $1 billion. You win $1 billion, or it's $1 million, one of the two. You win $1 million or $1 billion. Well, it's you know how
Yeah, no, it's.
It took me an hour to fill out my bracket.
It
took me an hour to fill it out.
Big stats. Oh wow, I feel it took me a lot less to make mine.
Well, you're also just a complete tard.
Yeah, that's true. But Ryan, since you're got a big stats midterm tomorrow, what are the odds of someone actually winning?
I don't know. What is this? Is this 64 teams?
The bracket.
16. Yeah, 64. It's 64 because there's 16 teams in each.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the bracket challenge is not the same every year. The regions kind of go different. I was listening to Pardon My Take, so Barstool Podcast, and they're talking about how 80% of the brackets are usually the same every year, and teams would be put in the same region. But regions will vary, and some teams will be put. It was they listed, I think. I don't want to say it incorrectly. It was just some teams were put in the South region on one year, and then the next region they're put in like the Midwest. They're just placed differently. They should just make it, instead of East, West, North, and Midwest for the conferences, it's like the division of the brackets divided in. They should make it top right, bottom left, bottom, like just each corner stays there. Yeah, just leave it the same so there's no change.
I agree, because like that honestly is such a decider, because every team performs differently against other teams, right? I mean, that's the nature of the sport. The
thing is, it's kind of hard, although we would prefer to see that, it's kind of hard to split up like 250 schools or whatever in Div, like there's like 300 schools that are playing Div 1.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a lot of teams.
The March Madness, though, like I said, it's probably the best week. The week leading up to March Madness, you have people in a panic. You don't know who to choose. The thing, like, if you look at it, you're thinking, oh, 4th seed should easily beat 13th seed. Like, I don't know if you're looking at, well, Virginia Tech and St. Louis. I have Virginia Tech moving on pretty easily. But there's so many upsets that happen each year. Like, last year was the first time ever 16th seed beat off 1st seed. Virginia lost. And the world went bonkers. And every person has a different... The thing is, every person has a different bracket. No one has the same.
Since we're just on the topic of like
possible matchups,
do you think any 16th seed is going to do that this year?
Not a single 16th seed is actually going to win this year. Win a single game. They're going 4 for 4, getting eliminated in the first round. I just see Gonzaga, Duke, and Virginia, and North Carolina just being too powerful.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be any flukes.
But there's always fucking huge upsets every year. The
never
thing
know.
is, you just don't know if it's going to be a second seed, a 3 seed, or a first seed. It changes every year. Teams perform differently. I think the one team that is ranked extremely wait, hold on. I'll actually say it here. Gonzaga. I don't think Gonzaga is going to do well at all. I think Gonzaga is going to choke in the second round.
Yeah, man. I have Florida actually beating them.
See,
okay,
we'll keep it simple like this. Instead of discussing our round by round, we'll just go straight to who's your final four. So who do you have the final two?
Final four?
Well, actually, we'll say this. Your 2 finals in the East, your 2 finals in the South, your 2 finals in the Midwest, your 2 finals in the West. Who are your final 8 teams?
Alright, you want me to go first?
Yeah, well, I'll hear yours, because yours sounds pretty freaking, I don't know, out of this world is what you're making it seem like.
Alright. Well, so in the East, I have, I think this will be a pretty common one. I have Duke and LSU for the East.
So you just have the classic you just have classic Duke pouncing through.
Looking at the teams, I have the classic.
You're just rocking with the favorites, Duke, eh?
Yeah, no, well, I mean, some people say I'm a bandwagon for Duke for Zion, but no, I'm actually
Zion?
on the coach bandwagon.
You mean Zion?
Coach Krzyzewski.
You mean Zion?
Polish coach.
Not Zion.
Bro, you know
Zion.
what? Have you heard of the saying called "shut up"? No, but yeah.
So you have LSU and Duke as your as the wrap up.
I'm only a Duke fan for other coach.
Oh, because he's got a Polish last name.
Yeah, I mean you gotta honor the Poles.
And
the West, actually, yeah, I'll go West.
Continue. So you have Duke coming out of the East.
Yeah, Duke for the East. And then for the West, I have Florida and Texas Tech.
Florida and Texas Tech.
Yep. So that's where you get a little bit different.
So you have a 3 seed and then a 4th seed wrapping out the final for the West.
I do. So that's where it's a little different, man.
Well, it's a bit different, but the thing is, the West is stacked with depth teams that I don't think the top 2 teams are gonna make it out of there.
You know what? There were a couple out there.
A couple out.
With, are we saying who's coming out of the? I guess the East and West titles, or
yeah, you can
sure.
Say that.
Yeah, I have Florida coming out of it.
So you have Florida and Duke coming out of it.
Yeah.
And then Florida. So you have Florida and Duke creating the first Final Four. Yeah. And then who's coming out of the South and the Midwest for you?
So South, I got Virginia and Purdue, bro.
Is due for a win.
Man, yeah, I'm pretty confident in
Here's the thing, though.
Year.
With Virginia and Purdue, yes, they're 2 good teams. But they fucked my bracket up last year. And they broke my heart. No, they ended up playing against each other, and I had Purdue winning it all. So Virginia lost in the first round, my bad. It was fucking Purdue and someone else. And so yeah, Purdue getting knocked out fucked up my whole bracket, so I'm not rocking Purdue this year. I don't think Purdue is going to win it. Fuck Purdue. They're not due for a win. They're due for another fucking loss. So with your Final Four setup, so you have Virginia and Purdue, Florida State, Duke as your 4, correct?
Duke, Florida. Virginia and Purdue. Purdue coming out of the Virginia-Purdue setup.
Yep.
And then for my Midwest, I have North Carolina, Kentucky.
North Carolina, Kentucky. This is where I'm gonna have to differ. We have very different.
Yeah, right.
brackets.
You know, let's hop into yours. You say about yours. Talk about
ours
yours
is completely
and,
different.
Reasons why.
I got Duke losing to
so
Virginia
it looks
Tech.
like I'm the only one. Really?
Yeah, I say Duke, choke as per usual, because it's Duke. I don't think Zion.
Okay.
Because Virginia Tech did beat Duke, but Duke didn't have Zion. They won by 5 or 6. But with that momentum, you'd think Virginia Tech would have the confidence, go out, play a hell of a game.
Yeah.
Beat Duke. So I got Virginia Tech and Michigan State wrapping out the East.
Okay.
And then the fact that I was surprised you took LSU because I got LSU losing the second round.
Really? Who do you have them losing against?
The winner of Belmont or Template. I just think the 11th seed is gonna knock off Maryland, and then those. Oh no, my bad. I have LSU being. I just have LSU losing to Michigan State. My bad. I was looking at the freaking wrong thing. So LSU do go pretty far, but Michigan State knocks them out. So that's my East. In the West is very similar to yours. I believe that there'll be a couple upsets, and that's where you'll see many of the points being taken. Because I don't know if you'll be in my bracket, so this is how it's going to work. When upsets, so if a team lower ranked beats a higher team, you get more points based on the upset. And a lot of people do it that way because it's fair. You predict it, you get the points. So I have Syracuse beating Gonzaga as probably one of my most noticeable upsets. Okay. But that's as far as they're going to go. It's going to be Florida State and Buffalo wrapping up the West.
Okay.
Buffalo is this team that people are sleeping on. Trust me, you don't want to be sleeping on Buffalo.
Okay.
Buffalo will be a good team out there. They've well-rounded. They've been really good teams.
You know, I said St. John. Sorry to interrupt, but I said St. John will beat Buffalo, and there's only one reason behind that.
Because of John.
Yeah, I had to go with that.
So I'm hoping you're freaking stupid, because you are stupid.
Yeah,
for picking John.
That was, my one. I don't know what I was doing with that pick.
Here's the thing, though. You could be right. You could be right. March Madness is always like that. Loyola last year barely made the tournament. 11th seed. I'll say 99% of the people probably had them knocked down in the first round, except for that 1%. And you know what that 1% was?
Who? Ryan Simons.
Your co-host, Ryan Simons. I had them going all the way to the freaking Elite 8.
How did I know?
I had them in the Elite 8. That's pretty I don't know. To be honest, I just chose Loyola as my team, and it turned out to be that way. There always is that one Cinderella team. But this year, who is it going to be? We don't know. I'm hoping it's Buffalo in this case.
Yeah. So
my West is Buffalo, Florida State. East, Virginia Tech, Michigan State. The South, I have Kansas State and Tennessee. Okay. And then the Midwest, North Carolina and Houston. So I'll just fast forward to my finals right now, and then you'll say your final. I got my finals, Michigan State and North Carolina. That's who my final is. Okay.
For like the very
the final in Minneapolis. It's gonna be Michigan State versus North Carolina, and Michigan State winning it all this year.
Oh shit! Okay, that's.
I'm rocking the green Michigan State. I'm rocking the green tide, baby. I've always been against Michigan teams, but for some reason this year, I have a feeling. I'm just feeling the green.
Oh boom.
All green.
Yeah, you're gonna hate my finals, man.
Oh boy, it's gonna be something stupid. I already have a feeling.
So, for my final, I have Duke as of course you'd expect, and Purdue.
Do you have Duke winning it all?
And I have Duke winning it all, man.
Oh my God! So you've just gone with what the favorites? You're just going with the favorites right now.
Yeah, Coach Krzyzewski.
Yeah. Well, man, you know what, Chris? At least you're rocking. You're not hopping on the bandwagon. You're hopping on the freaking Polish bandwagon.
Yeah, I'm on.
You just gotta follow. Yeah, exactly. You gotta follow anyone that's Polish. Yeah. So that's basically March Madness. It's gonna be a shit show this weekend. I'm gonna be following it all. That's my weekend done. Although it's gonna be such a nice week. I'm just gonna be sitting down. Probably having a nice little pint, having some food. It's gonna be a good weekend.
Prohibition pint, actually.
Oh yeah, non-alcoholic pint for sure.
Of course.
Non-alcoholic for your liverless co-host, exactly. And can't be going out on a terrible bang. Non-alcoholic beer will go on with a good bang. Oh my God. No, but March Madness, it's such a fun time of the year. Everyone, even if you're not into basketball, many people follow it because it's fun.
It's like a tradition every year,
It's a tradition every year, exactly. Why not take the chance to win the freaking million beans or billion beans? People don't even know shit and fill out a bracket. It's the way she goes. Exactly, like yourself.
You know what?
But you could also have finished with a better freaking bracket than me. Just because.
Ryan, who do you think's gonna have a better bracket?
I'm obviously gonna go with mine because you're stupid for going with Duke. No, I don't remember the last time the favorite won the March Madness. There's always first seeds that get knocked out.
Ryan, are we gonna put some money on it? See who has the better pool? The better
You know what? We'll see. We'll put it on the Insta so people see also around us. So people know what's going on.
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of that. Let's do that. We'll put that on after this goes up.
We'll put it on after she goes up. We'll discuss it. Other news other than March Madness, our freaking fan favorite Johnny Manziel, like we said, did sign with the AAF. He wants to pursue a football career.
HLR, another prediction, another thing.
We're always right with our predictions so far. We're 3 for 3. Brown, Kraft, Manziel. Manziel signed with Memphis Express. The way the AAF works and the reason he signed with them is if there isn't any free agents coming in, the team with the lowest win percentage actually gets the player. Yeah. Although San Antonio is the worst team in the AAF, they passed on his college rights, so he became a free agent. And the next team up was Memphis. So Johnny's going to Memphis.
Johnny Manziel.
Is he going to produce?
I think it's the same thing. I think it's going to be a similar thing. I think he's just... This is his last straw. I don't think he's going to...
Oh, this is the last kind of chance he has of producing anything.
You blow it in the NFL and then you blow it in the CFL. Like there's no way.
And the thing is, he's blown both of them because of exactly. He's blown. It's not based on his performance. It's based of shit off the field he's done. And as we talked before, if you keep doing shit, what are the chances? Like, what are the You're not gonna change what you've been doing your whole life. You can say a lot of crap, but it's honestly about the actions you take. Closing out too, a couple key pointers. Bianca Andreesuk, my bad. Remember this name because she's going to be in the news for a while. She's an 18-year-old tennis Canadian player. And you'd think, oh, Eugenie Bouchard probably has the most fame coming out of Canada and being a Canadian women tennis player. She's the new name. She won the Indian Wells, which is a pretty big tournament in the WTP. Beating former number 1 Angelica Kerber 6-4, 3-6, 6-4. Bouchard was previously the highest ranked female tennis player out of Canada, 69, and Bianca has actually passed her now based with this result, becoming the highest women's tennis player ranked. And she's 18 years old too, 18.
That's ridiculous.
She's on the come up. She has the chance to probably bring Canadian tennis back to as high as it was with when Dennis and Milos brought it with the men. Rory wins the Players' Championship with the -16 after Ram and Fleetwood choked on 70. So Ram and Fleetwood, Chris were tied for the lead going into the final day and choked throughout the day. A lot of bogeys, a lot of double bogeys. Basically playing like your style of golf. Just one shot after another.
I know what you're talking about.
Brutal golf.
What is golf?
What is golf exactly? I don't think you want to be playing golf anymore.
No.
Well, Chris, I'm just saying, maybe we do have to get a nice little HLR golf edition going for the boys.
You know what? I think I'm busy that day, actually. Yeah, something just came up.
Oh, you're busy that day? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll have to get back to you about it.
Oh,
yeah, even
okay,
if you postpone, I'll probably still be busy. So.
Oh, you'll still be busy, no matter. Even if we have a special guest, we'll be busy, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That just makes sense. That just makes sense.
No. Something's gonna come up.
Something's gonna bring up, but something's gonna come up, and you're just gonna be like, I can't do it.
Yeah, probably.
I'll make sure you play like Fleetwood. I'll play like Rory, and I'll make every shot.
There we go.
Anyways, Buckties, that's basically what has been happening over the weekend since Thursday's podcast.
A lot of topics.
We'll be back on Thursday with another HLR number 7, unless anything bad happens, which I don't think anything should.
Don't jinx it, bro.
Don't jinx it. We'll be back on Thursday, Buckties. Have a good rest of the week. Peace.